Naturally, you're comfortable with the concept of content areas on a course menu. For example, in this demo course, I've got an information area with syllabus, listing of deadlines, code of conduct, that sort of thing, and then another just general content area that has, everything else. Okay. You may have a far more intricate structure in your course, but that's, pretty much the way it goes. You set up content areas, you put things in them. And I'm sure that you're comfortable with the idea of controlling the different items in your course based on date time. You could set up for it only to display after a certain point in time, and then the individual item would appear. And probably you're also comfortable with the idea of hiding an entire area in your course and then saying to show it again at some other time. So you can manually toggle the availability of an entire content area, and for an item you can actually set date time restrictions on them. But you can also set date time restrictions on an entire content area. Now, you can't get to it from the course menu controls, but you go in and say you want to edit the content area from the content screen, and you do have date time restrictions. Okay, so why on earth would you ever want to do that? Well, let's take a hypothetical situation here. I've got a course, I have my definition documents, syllabus, and so forth that I'd really like the students to be able to see ahead of time, but I don't want them getting into my content. So I could manually hide the content area, and then I'd have to remember to turn it on again when the class starts. Now, remember is kind of the word that I want to avoid here. So when I'm doing setup, I can go into the content area and I can say, well, I want to edit this content area and control it so that it will display after, and then I'm going to just pick the first day of the semester. Now, on this course menu, you get the indicator saying the link is hidden. And I'll turn edit mode off so you can see what students would see. They would only see the information area. So if I made the course available to students, they could see this section, they couldn't see the other until that day and time passed, and then they would automatically see this content area. Now note that that is completely independent from the hide link, show link control. So if I say hide link, nothing is visibly changed. You still have the link is hidden from students. If I say show link, well, obviously it's still hidden from students, okay, because of that date time restriction. The trick is if you do both, if you set a date time restriction and you set the entire area to be hidden, then even once the date has passed, it would still be hidden. So pick one strategy and stick with it. But if you're like me and like to set things up ahead of time, you can go into individual content areas and set them to appear at particular times in the future.